I want to give a special shout out to all my patrons first. Thank you so much to my Bibliosprend, Bibliohowler, Bibliomancers, and my new Bibliomancer, Derek. It means a lot to me that you are giving me your extra support toward my passion and hobby. Hi everyone, Petrik here. Happy New Year! We are in the year 2024 now, and this will be the first video of the year. And I think it is right to start by talking about some channel goals and also what I plan to read this month. Regarding channel goal, it is quite simple. Last year, I made a channel goal, and I think it was to reach 35,000 subscribers. I couldn't get around to that one. I failed to achieve that. But no worries, I'm still very grateful regarding the growth of my channel. It is very steady, and I think in total, there was an increase of 10,000 subscribers in the year 2023, and I think that is still pretty awesome. But for the goal this year, I hope this channel could reach a total of 45,000 subscribers. No idea whether that's possible or not, but I will do my best. And other than that, I hope I can increase the quality of my videos and also find many more great books to recommend to all of you. That's really all my goals for this channel. And I will keep my fingers crossed that 2024 will be even better for all of us. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for my channel goal. Now let's talk about all the books that I want to start reading within this month. The first one will be a continuation from last year. I couldn't finish this one. This is Heliotrope by Palmer Pickering. A standalone fantasy novel filled with many of my favorite tropes such as a found family and also featuring an older main characters with such prominent animal companions. I'm only about 200 pages into this one so far, and this book is like almost 800 pages, but so far it is a slow burn with an easy to read writing. I really like it, and I will let you know my full thoughts after I finish this one as the first book of this year. But I have heard many wonderful things about Heliotrope from other booktubers such as Andrew, my friend Andrew from Andrew Wizardly Reads, and also plenty of other reviewers as well. I hope the remaining 600 pages of Heliotrope will continue to get better and better. And speaking of standalone novel, the next novel after Heliotrope that I want to read will be a second read of The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. And yeah, this is the Raidmark hardcover limited edition. And yes, I am going to do a second read of The Sword of Kaigen using this absolutely beautiful special edition. Yeah, I am the kind of reader who actually use my special edition to read because, well, what is the purpose of me buying them if they're just going to sit there on the shelf? Of course, there's nothing wrong if you're a book collector who like to do that, but for me personally, I do love using my special edition and read them. And this is my favorite standalone novels of all time. It is also my favorite self-published fantasy book. I have talked about this for the past 5 years since the first time I read The Sword of Kaigen. Apparently, I read The Sword of Kaigen, it was in January 2019, and now we are in January 2024. So to mark the 5th anniversary of the first time I read this absolutely incredible book, I think I might as well do a second read of The Sword of Kaigen. Now, I think it is kind of insane that I still haven't do a second read of this one. An incredibly powerful, character-driven epic fantasy with very heavy themes of war, sacrifice, family, and also parenthood, especially motherhood. It is amazing, and yeah, I hope the second read will be as good or even better compared to my first time reading through it. I remember that this was absolutely emotional and heartbreaking in multiple sections, but also super satisfying to read. Once I'm done with those two standalone novels, then I plan to continue reading the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio, and that means I'll be reading the 4th book in the series, Kingdoms of Death. And this one has been mentioned by plenty of fans of the series to be the darkest of the entire series so far. I think that's really what people are saying about Kingdoms of Death. I don't know too much other than that, but considering how much I love Empire of Silence, Howling Dark, and also Demon in White so far, well, I think it is almost guaranteed I will end up loving Kingdoms of Death as well. I heard that this one was supposed to be one book along with the 5th book, Ashes of Men, but because it was too big, it got divided into 2 books, Kingdoms of Death and also Ashes of Men. Not gonna lie, although I am very excited and pumped to read Kingdoms of Death, I'm also kind of sad that I'm almost caught up with this amazing series. It is a bittersweet feeling really, but yeah, I look forward to reading Kingdoms of Death, and I think I'm still deciding about this. I still don't know whether I should do a review of Kingdoms of Death and Ashes of Men as one, or do a respective review of Kingdoms of Death and Ashes of Men, but I guess we will see. Also, this cover art by Kieran Yanner. I think Kieran Yanner is just such an amazing artist. It's kind of shocking that I still don't see him doing a lot of cover artwork. The cover art to the Sun Eater series is phenomenal. And it goes without saying that the Sun Eater series is not the only series that I want to continue reading immediately within this month. I still have 2 more series that I want to continue. Well, to be more precise, they are the conclusion of their own series. The first one is The Trials of Empire by Richard Swan. I already have an adventuring copy of The Trials of Empire. This is the 3rd and the final book in the Empire of the Wolf trilogy. I got an adventuring copy, I think, last month, or it was in November, but I decided to wait until January to read and review it. But I really had a great time reading the compelling Justice of Kings and also the Tyranny of Fate. Both the Justice of Kings and also the Tyranny of Fate, I think both of them were in my list of favorite books of the year. The Justice of Kings was for the year 2022. The Tyranny of Fate was for the year 2023. And I expect the Trials of Empire to receive the same notion. But let's see whether that's possible or not. I do not want to jinx it, but the Empire of the World trilogy so far has been truly incredible. Such a great modern fantasy series about morality and also law and justice. And I think Martina Fachkova once again nailed the cover art so damn well. And after that, I plan to finish reading the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson and also Jen C. Patterson for the Skyward Flight Omnibus. But for the main series, for the books in the main series, only Brandon Sanderson wrote them. And yeah, this one, Defiant, will be the 4th and the final book in the Skyward series, and it is enjoyable, very enjoyable space opera series, although I do think that the Skyward Flight and also Titanic has kind of like dampened my enjoyment of the Skyward series. I think it felt longer because of the involvement of the Skyward Flight and also Titanic, where not too many things actually happen. Not too many significant and important things actually happen. And Skyward Flight is not a small omnibus, it is quite big. It is marketed as a collection of 3 novellas, but in reality, they are short novels, all 3 of them. I think they're about 60,000 or 70,000 words each. And because of reading Skyward Flight and also Titanic, I think my enjoyment toward the series has kinda decreased, and I hope Defiant will at the very least land an explosive conclusion to the Skyward series. I don't think I will be reading a lot of Brandon Sanderson's books this year compared to last year, but I do plan to do a full reread of the entire Stormlight archive at the second half of this year, and yeah, I'm excited about that as well. And here is another book in the series that I've been reading for years. I think I started reading this series, The Wheel of Time. I think it was in the year 2019. And yeah, I'm still not done with it. As I said, my plan to read this series is slowly but sure, and now I'm in the 9th book of the series, Winter's Heart. And yeah, I think many people told me that I will not enjoy this one because I'm not a fan of Elaine and also Perrin and Fail. And some readers have told me that this book, Winter's Heart, do features a lot of them. And yeah, now I'm feeling a bit worried about this, but I am fully planning to read every book in the series, even Crossroads of Twilight. Maybe only once in my lifetime if I end up disliking this slog portions that begins with A Crown of Swords. But you know what? As I said, I want to be done at the latest with The Wheel of Time next year, in the year 2025. That's the latest. This year, my goal is to actually reach Knife of Dreams, the 11th book in the series. And well, I have to finish this one and the next one first. After that, I think I will read New Spring, a prequel short novel in the Wheel of Time series first before diving into Knife of Dreams. But that's my goal, and I hope I can bear through Winter's Heart and Crossroads of Twilight. Wish me luck. I make no promises that I will actually manage to finish reading Winter's Heart this month, because the way I tackle the Wheel of Time, the slog portions, I read only about 1 or 2 chapters per day. That makes my reading through the slog portions easier and bearable, and that's what I plan to do again for Winter's Heart and then eventually Crossroads of Twilight about 3 or 4 months from now. I heard this one do contain an incredible ending, so I guess I at the very least have that to look forward to. And then the last 2 books that I plan to read in the month of January, if possible, they are beginning of a series, and they are both in my list of priority series that I want to start and also finish this year. The first one is Memoirs of Lady Trent by Mary Brennan. The first book is A Natural History of Dragons. Heard many wonderful things about this one. I heard it's cozy, whimsical, and it also involves this character, Lady Trent, who has a passion about dragons. And well, this features cover art and also interior artworks by Todd Lockwood, and I think they are so gorgeous. Like this one, this is the map, and then let me showcase. Ta-da! This is one of the dragons, I think. But yeah, I look forward to reading this one. Many people told me that I would enjoy this one in the middle of my usual heavy and serious reading. And speaking of heavy and serious reading, the last book that I want to start reading, hopefully finish as well this month, is The Curse of the Misread by Jenny Wirtz. This is the first book in the magnum opus Worlds of Light and Shadow series. And yeah, I know, this was in my previous 2 years list of priority series as well. And this time, let's just say that I will definitely start reading this series in the year 2024. This time it has to be done. I have always wanted to read this series, but you know how it goes. TBR pile keeps increasing, and then I kept on feeling like I am not ready. I'm not feeling ready to commit myself to this big series yet, especially because I know this will be something intricate and also complex. But knowing how much I love Reef War Empire trilogy by Raymond E. Weiss and Jenny Wirtz, and also To Write Hell's Chasm, the standalone novel by Jenny Wirtz, then I think it is very likely that I will end up loving Wars of Light and Shadow. And with the series finally coming to an end this May, I think it's about time I start reading Wars of Light and Shadow. Here's hoping this will become one of my top favorite series of all time. So those are really the priority books that I want to read in the month of January to kick off this year, hopefully with a bang. But other than that, I also have one more book, and this is a non-fiction that I just got unsolicited. This is A Year of Wonder by Clemency Burton Hill. So this one, I think, is supposed to tell you information about classic music and also listen to a piece of classic music, one music every day. And I find that kind of interesting. I like classical music, so I might as well use this book to learn something about it and also hopefully find some great music. So like this one, hold on. In the first day of January, the book tells you to listen to Mass in B minor, Sanctus by Johann Sebastian Bach. And then second day, it will be something different. Ta-da! The 2nd of January, it will be Etude in C major by Frédéric Chopin, and it goes on up to the last day of the year. So if, let's say, I continue with this, I guess I will be reading this for the entire year. Let's see how that turns out. So those are really the novels that I plan to read this month. As for manga, I have 2 manga series that I plan to start reading. Well, not to start reading because I'm already in the middle of reading the series again. And the first one is Attack on Titan by Hajime Isayama. I'm in the middle of another reread of Attack on Titan, and I'm almost done with my reread. After that, I plan to do a second read, well, to be precise, a first read of Noragami, because Noragami is coming to an end this month. I have actually read Noragami, but back then it was not from the beginning because I watched the anime adaptation first, which I really enjoyed after the 2nd season, and then I continue by reading the manga, because as far as I know, the anime adaptation is actually very faithful to the manga. That's what I did. But this time, I want to start reading it from the beginning up to the end. And yeah, that's about cover it up. That's really all the books and manga that I plan to read in the month of January. Do let me know what you think about all these books that I plan to read this month. I know these are some very challenging and also big books, quite intimidating, but I hope to read all of them. Usually the beginning of the year is the period of time in a year where I always felt the most energized. The first quarter of the year, the most energized to read books. If you spot anything interesting from my January TBR, let me know which one of them, and also do tell me what books do you plan to read this month. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.